In 2004, I started a file called Letters to God. I wanted to talk to you. 6 years later, I realized that I still believe in you, and this world is more than rational and sane. I'm surprised that the years of words typed and cried upon, I write poems about you and how strong my belief is, even as others write about losing their faith. My spirituality has changed, but my faith remains. I defend your name to those that claim their love for you, and yet defying me and others for our love sorry, I haven't performed for a long time.
You got that!
I defend your name to those that claim their love for you, and yet defame me and others for our love of each other, our genders, our sexualities, our cultures, our races. We are reaching across borders created by centuries of hate. I call this lovely, I call this holy, I call this faith. During hard times, I pull out these files of desperation and depression, trying to figure out these borders that I have crossed since birth. Black to Asian, to male, to female, to mixed, to trans, to straight, to gay, to queer, bridging gaps that no one told me how to fill. I'm surprised that there is a permanent bridge that keeps linking me to you. I read my conversations with you, categorized by dates and times. Why do I believe in you? These questions began another conversation. I began at the beginning. I say, here I am with words and body and voice. Hands are up and waving, or down and holding on to myself. I showed up again. I pause and I think. I still do not know how to call you. Your names are laden with centuries of oppression against me and my kind. Should I call you a pronoun to match my transformational identity, he, she, or they, or everything and nothing? Is this the abusive relationship of my parents resurfacing in my voice, my hands, as I pray and write with scarred knees, bruised with belief, and decades of unknown on my shoulders and the whys screaming in my ears? Is our relationship one of grace and beauty, or terror and mistrust? Do I open myself up to the possibilities of you again and again? I wonder if my relationship with you is like most of the ones I have with lovers and friends, waiting to be harmed and abandoned. God, do I strike first again with doubt, lash out with pain, push against love, move mountains to keep my trauma fresh and unshadowed? Do I create loneliness, welcome in heartache like a distant relative? Do I pet deception like an old friend? I know that I apologize last because of my pride and sometimes first with low self-esteem. I tell myself sorry for destroying what I want to create before it even begins. Am I my own demon or my own God?
Whoa.
Am I talking to myself or am I talking to you? Then I remember how people see your mystery in my eyes, and it scares them as you scare me. It is hard to believe that we can change the world together. I'm surprised by our own innocence as we dance through this trauma together, this life. I recast in my mind the mistakes I have made, each memory bruise that I hit myself with, and then the broken records that I attempt to change. I recall each story spread before me. I welcome stories and whispered voices to my voices to be trapped in my memory. I ask you to hold me so I can hold others. I'm tired of holding all these stories without being held. Confidentiality leaks onto private journal entries for your eyes alone. These stories of survival make me believe in you as they take other people's faith away. My eyes face truth with unflinching certainty, so I come back to file words and journal entries and my letters to you, God, that speak to you and me at night when no one is around to catch or hold. I feel you surrounding me as I hold myself and catch spirit. I ask you, God, how can I still believe by faith like a child? Why do I keep running into heartache? My face, not my lack, makes me tremble at night. Because I still have more questions than answers. I'm still having the same conversation with you and my faith, and you still keep believing and turning to me. And this is another letter to be filed and earmarked for later, for me to come back to in the darkest of nights, and I hold on to another conversation with you and myself.